Good morning, all of you. In today's session, we are going to continue with the CSIR NET GRF Chemical Science, June 2017, Part C, Series 6. Okay, so this entire Part C of June 2017 were made into 6 series. In each series, 10 questions will be covered. Okay, so already we completed Part B in a single session, and 2018 June December, 2019 June December, 2020 June November question paper have been uploaded in the channel World of Competitive Chemistry. These will be helpful for your competitive examination and any kind of entrance examinations as well. So let us enter into our actual concept. So in the series 6 of Part C, CSIR NET Chemical Science, June 2017, we are going to discuss 111 to 120 questions. So 111 question will be, a polydispersed polymer sample has 10 molecules of molar mass, 20,000 gram per mole, and 15 molecules of molar mass, 10,000 gram per mole. The number average molar mass of a sample is. Here, number average molar mass to be predicted. This is a part of polymer chemistry. Let us see how number average molar mass of given polymeric sample can be predicted. The formula for number average molar mass will be Mn is equal to sigma Ni m bar n mi by sigma Ni. N stands for number of monomeric units involved in the polymerization. M is the mass of polymer what we are taking, right, by sigma Ni. So this will be the empirical formula for number average molar mass. So it can be written. So sigma can be expanded in this way. N1 M1 plus N2 M2 by N1 plus M2. So in this manner, we can expand this equation. Let us substitute what kind of monomers are given and what are their number followed by their molar mass, right? A polydispersed polymer in the sense, monodispersed polymer stands for if entire polymer made up of only one kind of monomeric units called a monodispersed. Polydispersed in the sense if polymer made up of blending of different kind of monomers is called polydispersed polymer. In this case, two different or more than two different type of monomeric units can be blended, right? So 20,000 is the molar mass of one kind of monomeric units we are adding, and 10,000 is another one, right? So let us substitute those molecules. Now, how many molecules are there? Polydispersed polymer, 10 molecules having 20,000 and remaining 15 molecules have 10,000. Okay, number of molecules are 10 and their molar mass will be 20,000 plus 15 molecules are having molar mass 10,000 by N1 plus N2, nothing but 10 plus 15. Okay, so this will be the formula sigma Ni Mi by sigma Ni, number into molar mass by number of monomers we are adding in the polymer formation, right? So here 10 monomeric units consisting 20,000 molar mass, 15 molecules are consisting 10,000 molar mass. That's why 10 into 20,000 plus 15 into 10,000 by 10 plus 15 is equal to, we will get 14,000. This is the number average molar mass of this polydispersed polymeric system. Hence, for question number 111, option 2 will be the right answer, right? Let us move on to question number 112. Consider a system of 3 particles which can occupy energy levels with energy 0, epsilon and 2 epsilon such that total energy E is given as 4 epsilon. Cases A, B, C corresponds to spin of 1 by 2 Fermi ions, spin 0 bosons and the classically distinguishable particles respectively. The corresponding order of entropy is, right? Here, this is a part of entropy, that means thermodynamics. In this, what given? 3 particles are there and entire energy of 3 particles is given as 4 epsilon and 3 particles individually consisting 0, epsilon and 2 epsilon energy levels. Then what we have to predict? The entropy of 3 particles. What are the 3 particles? One is Fermi ion, second is boson, third is classically distinguishable particle. These three A, B, C particles are provided. We have to categorize, we have to arrange their entropy order. In order to get this, we have the formula for entropy. Entropy is denoted with S. S stands for measure of randomness provided by the given set of molecules. Okay, measure of randomness is called entropy. That is given by the formula K into ln W. Okay, so K is the constant. When we remove the constant, K is directly proportional to W. W stands for multiplicity. In how many ways we can represent the given set of molecules is called its a multiplicity. And within the problem, they provided that E is equal to 4 epsilon. Total amount of energy of 3 particles given as 4 epsilon. How many particles we have? 3 particles are there. These 3 particles having different energy, individual energies of 3 particles, E1 is equal to 0, E2 is equal to epsilon, E3 is equal to 2 epsilon. Then classical particle is the distinguishable particle. We can locate it in a particular manner. So it will be distinguishable and occupy any number of energy levels. Classical particle is able to occupy any level of energy levels. And boson is defined as they are particles of integral spin. They contains integral spin of the particles and indistinguishable. We can't locate them in a particular space. Indistinguishable particles are known as bosons and occupy any number of space in energy levels. Any number of energy levels can be occupied by these bosons. Next is about Fermi ions. They are associated with half integral spin. Their spins will be half integrals and electron always associated with half integral spin, right? That's why electron is also considered as a one of the example for Fermi ion. They are also indistinguishable. Fermi ions also indistinguishable in nature. And one Fermi ion occupies one energy level only. So this is a confined manner. So they will occupy in a confined manner. Right? So Pauli's exclusion principle is strictly obeyed by these Fermi ions. What is Pauli's exclusion principle? Pauli's exclusion principle states that no 2 electrons will contain 4 quantum numbers equally. Each and every electron is unique in nature, and even 3 quantum numbers are equal, but 4th quantum number will be defeated. So in that way, no 2 electrons are able to exhibit 4 quantum numbers equally. That is known as Pauli's exclusion, which is strictly obeyed by these Fermi ions. Here we denoted, so SE stands for classical particle entropy, SD stands for boson entropy, and SA stands for Fermi ion entropy. So in this way we describe. Let us assume 3 energy levels are provided within the molecule. So E1 energy level, E2 energy level, E3 energy level. E1 energy level is given with 0, E2 energy level, E0 energy level with 0, E1 with E, E2 energy level is denoted with 2E, right? So first let us assume which kind of ions we are taking now. We are taking bosons. So if we consider bosons, they are indistinguishable and can occupy any number of energy levels. Any number of energy levels can be occupied. They are denoted with A, B, C. So within the problem only they mentioned how many particles are there? 3 particles are there, right? So if A, B particles are occupying 2E energy level and C energy will become 0. If AC particles are occupying this 2E energy level, then B particle energy becomes 0. If BC particles are occupying 2E energy level, then A particle energy becomes 0. Right. And another possibility also we have, if AC particles are occupying E energy level, then B energy will be 2E. BC are occupying E level, then A will become 2E. AB are occupying E level, then C becomes 2E. So in this way, 6 possibilities are provided. 6 possibilities are provided for bosons. Right. So now let us go with another particles. Let us assume what we can take, classical particles. When classical particles were taken, for classical particle only A, B, C arrangement was given. So for classical particle only, A, B, C arrangement was given. For classical particle, how many arrangements are there? A, B, A, C, B, C, A, C, B, C, and A, B. These many. That means 6 possible orientations are provided for classical particle. They are occupying any number of energy levels. Now let us assume boson. Bosons are denoted with AAA, triple A, right? So in case of bosons, they are going to occupy only 2 levels, right? If they are occupying E level, so if they are occupying E level, 2 atoms are occupying E level, and another will go to 2E level. If 2 are occupying 2E level and another atom energy will become 0. Only these 2 possibilities are provided for boson. Only 2 possibilities are provided for boson. And when we are taking fermion, fermions are not having any kind of multiplicity. There is no provision for multiplicity. We can't localize them in different arrangements. Only the possibilities A into A level, A in E level, A in 0 energy level. So this is the possibility and the multiplicity. That means randomness and probability will be 0 for these fermions. Then total amount of energy for all these 3 particles are provided as 4E. For A, B, C atoms, Fermi ions, no 2 Fermi ions are having equal energy. That's the reason why only the possibility is all 3 Fermi ions are arranged in 3 different energy levels. Because there is no probability, we are not able to arrange in a different manner. Only the possibility is this kind of arrangement only. That's the reason why the probability of arrangement will be SC followed by SB followed by SEA, right? Classical particle followed by boson followed by Fermi ion. This will be the arrangement of entropy of various particles. Classical particles are having 6 possible arrangements. Bosons are having 2 possible arrangements. A is not having any kind of multiplicity, only fixed level of arrangement will be provided. Hence, for question number 112, option number 3 will be the right answer. Let us move on to question number 113, where point group symmetry elements are provided and irreducible representation table is also provided to us. For a point group of incomplete character table given below with one irreducible representation missing, we have to predict what is coming in this middle one. Okay, so A1, E, these are the irreducible representations. The symmetry operations present in this 3 rows. E is the identity, C3 symmetry is there, V3 sigma V symmetry is also provided to us. The Mulliken symbol and characters of the missing representations are. So what to be the terms to filled in this column we have to predict. A1 prime 1 minus 1 1, B1 1 minus 1 minus 1, A2 1 1 minus 1, B2 1 minus 1 1. So any one can fit in this. So that we have to predict which is able to fit into that vacant one. So in order to get that, asymmetric region is considered as a principal axis. If value is -1, that is denoted with B. If value is 1, that is denoted with A. Okay, so -1 denotes B, 1 denotes A. So if gerade operation is there, that is denoted with +1. Ungerade operation is there, -1 sign will be denoted for that one. And E represents doubly degenerated, T represents triply degenerated. Here, 2 E's are provided within the irreducible representation table. This first E represent identity element and this E represent doubly degenerated orbital. These 2 E's are not identical. This E stands for identity element. This is a symmetry operation and this E stands for doubly degenerated orbital. If T is mentioned, that is triply degenerated, E stands for doubly degenerated. Right? So here E is nothing but doubly degenerated, T is nothing but triply degenerated. So if +1 sign is given, that is denoted with A prime. -1 sign is there, A double prime can be denoted. Then A2 value, the suitable arrangement will be 1, 1, -1. This is only the satisfied condition for this one. so that we can fill here A2 1 1 minus 1 operation, right? So A2 1 1 minus 1 operation can be taken. So that is the suitable representation which is provided in option number 3. For question number 113, option number 3 will be the right answer, right? Let us move on to question number 114. Again, it is the part of irreducible representations. Given below is a specific vibrational mode of BCl3, boron trichloride, with the positive and negative denoting moments of respective atoms above and below the plane of molecule respectively. The irreducible representation of vibrational mode and its IR Raman activity are. Okay, so whether these are IR Raman active or inactive to be predicted. Okay, so here D3H symmetry element is provided for BCl3 molecule, and E2C3 2C2 sigma H 2S3 2 sigma V point group operations, symmetry operations are provided, and these are irreducible representation values for all these. Okay, whenever BCl3 molecule is considered, so this is about the possible arrangement. Now, applying 3n formula, 3, why we are taking the integer 3 means 3 kind of operations are possible. One is rotational moment, in either second one is vibrational moment, third one is translational moment. Okay, integer 3 denotes what? Vibrational rotation, translational rotation, rotational rotation. 3 possibilities are there. So here n stands for number of atoms which are present in this. How many atoms are present in BCl3 molecule? 4 atoms are there. 3 into 4, it will become 12 for BCl3 molecule, right? So when we apply 3n formula, 12 is a possible notation for BCl3 molecule. So it is represented like this. We are, in order to get this, E2C3, 3C2 sigma H, S3 and 3 sigma V values are taken. 2 different possibilities are taken, and we are going to take the product of these two. 4 into 3, it will become 12. 3 into 0, it will become 0. 2 into minus 1, it will be minus 2 itself. 4 into 1, 4 only. And 1 into minus 2, it will become minus 2. 2 into 1, 2 it will be. This is the product of 2 kind of irreducible representations what we are choosing, right? So these are reducible representation product. Now let us apply for A1. So formula we are going to apply 1 by H is equal to, we are going to sum all these values. Sum of all these values are taken 12 plus 0 plus minus 2 plus 4 plus 2V minus 2 plus 3 plus 3 into 2 into 1. So these are the values taken. Now when we do the sum of all these, it will be concised into 1 by 12, 12, 4 minus 2 plus 2 it will be, right? So A is given as mode A. So in order to get irreducible representations, the formula will be A1 plus A2 plus 3E1 plus 2A2 double prime. So this will be the formula in order to calculate irreducible representations. In order to predict rotational transitions, so the formula will be A2 plus E2 double prime. Okay, translational motion of vibrations can be predicted as E prime plus A2 double prime. Then vibrational rotations are calculated as A1 plus 2E prime plus A2 double prime. So these are the empirical formulas which are used to calculate various transitions available within the molecule. Hence, based on all these inferences, we can clearly observe that A1 is equal to A1 prime. Both the terms are exactly identical in nature. Okay, so when olefinic double bond is present within the molecule, that can be considered as a Raman active if any molecule is oriented or inclined towards X, Y, Z direction. Those are considered as IR active in nature. Any double fraction integers are present, those are Raman active parameters. Those are considered as a Raman active parameters. So based on all these, it is clear that E prime representation is IR and Raman active. E1 prime is Raman active. E2 double prime is a IR active in nature. right? So this is about the correct answer. 114, 2, 3, 4 are the correct answers. Now let us move on to question number 115. The first excited state of 2p 1/2 of fluorine laser at an energy of 400 centimeter inverse above the ground state 2p 3/2, right? So this is the excited level. 2p 1/2 is the excited term symbol, and ground state term symbol will be 2p 3/2. The fraction of fluorine atoms in the first excited state kBt is equal to 420 centimeter inverse is close to, right? So fraction of fluorine atoms first excited state kBt is equal to 420 is close to. So this to be predicted. The fraction of fluorine atoms in the first excited state to be predicted. For that purpose, we have the formula. What is the formula? Fraction of molecules Fn is equal to G minus beta Ea by sigma G to the power minus BEA. So this will be the formula. So if we substitute values in this formula, it is very clear to understand what is the fraction of fluorine atoms which are present in first excited state level, right? In order to get that, we are taking fluorine atom. Fluorine atom ground state term symbol is given as 2p 3/2. Excited state term symbol is given as 2p 1/2. First excited level is given as 2p 1/2. Ground state is 2p 3/2. Then constant kBt value is given as 420 and the energy is given as 400 centimeters. Right? So G stands for, here G is given for degeneracy. G is given for degeneracy and B is given for, here we have B. So that B is given as kBt is there, that B is given as 1/kT, right? So here Fn is equal to G minus beta E2 by sigma G to the power minus B0 plus G to the power minus B1 plus B to the power minus BU2. So in this way, we can extend this one, right? Degeneracy of first excited state is given by degeneracy denoted with which symbol? G. So this G will be, the degeneracy is equal to G, that is equal to 2J plus 1. Okay. So here for first excited state 2p half. For first excited state, this is given within the problem only. 2p superscript will be half. So in the term symbol, this middle number denotes L value, and this superscript value denotes 2s plus 1 value, and this subscript denotes J value. That's why here J is equal to half. We got J value. Let us substitute in this equation. So degeneracy is equal to 2 into 1/2 plus 1. So 2 into 1/2 plus 1, 2 get cancelled. So 2J plus 1 value becomes 2. That means B is equal to 2 now. So 2J plus 1 nothing but what? B is equal to. Now the value of B is taken as 2. So let us substitute that value in this equation. F is equal to 2. Degeneracy is denoted with what? G. Sorry, not B. Degeneracy is denoted with G. The G value is 2 here. So here, instead of G, we can insert this 2. So 2 into e to the power minus 400 by 420 by 4 plus 2 e to the power 400 by 420. Right? So when we substitute all the values, it will become 2 to the power 2 into e to the power minus e1 by 420 by 4 into e to the power minus 0 by kt by 1 plus 2 into e to the power minus e1 by 420. Right? So this is the formula, just to be substituted all G values in this equation. And also even E2 values are provided. So even value is 400, E2 value will be 420. 400, 420 almost equal. We can take the power 1 itself. So they get cancelled, compensated, so that we are taking this power as a 1 only, right? So 2 into e to the power minus 1 by, so here 4 plus 2 can be taken as 2 into 2 plus 1. We will take 2 as a common. 2 into 2 plus 1 and e to the power 1. Right. So it can be taken as 2 get cancelled, 2 get compensated. E to the power minus 1 by 2e plus e by e is equal to 1 by 1 plus 2e. So E get cancelled. That's why it will become 1 itself. So 1 by 1 plus 2E is F value, fraction of molecule, fraction of fluorine molecule is given as 1 by 1 plus 2E. That is given in the option number 4. In option number 4, this option, value is given. So for question number 115, option number 4 will be the right answer. Let us move on to next question 116. The two limiting wave functions of ground state H2 positive molecular ion as the internuclear separation R goes to infinity and 0 are 1s, 1sb are 1s orbital wave functions of hydrogen atoms. A and B in H2 positive and 1s helium is the wave function of 1s orbital of helium positive. Okay, so what we have to predict here, two things to be predicted here. What are the two things predicted? The two limiting wave functions of ground state H2 positive molecular ion as the internuclear separation R goes to infinity and 0, right? So for H2 positive and also for helium positive, we have to predict. So for that purpose, according to molecular orbital, R is nothing but distance between two atoms. Any two atoms are get combining, the distance between the two adjacent, two consecutive nucleus is denoted as R. Okay, R is equal to number of atoms overlapping. So that if no overlapping is present, if two atoms are not overlapping at all, they are far apart to each other, in that case distance will be denoted as infinity, right? So if atoms are far apart to each other and there is no exact bonding, there is no exact overlapping, hence you can say R is equal to infinity. In the maximum extent of overlapping, they are very close proximity where distance is regarded as infinitesimal. So that is denoted with 0 itself. Okay, when we are combining hydrogen atoms, what happens? So neutral hydrogen atoms combined, there is a formation of hydrogen molecule. One is atomic orbitals get combined, there is a formation of hydrogen molecule is possible. But we are considering this H2 positive. H2 positive in the sense, how many electrons are there? They are joined by only one electron, because each hydrogen is associated with one electron. Its electronic configuration is 1s1 itself. When we are taking H2 positive, so only one electron is there in its molecular orbital. So it is denoted with such kind of bridge. Two hydrogens are joined by only one electron in this manner, one electron system it is. If we apply quantum mechanics for this one, psi H2 positive is equal to 1sa plus 1sb. Two atomic orbitals are combining, but two orbital, one electron system it is. When we are taking helium positive, helium atom is consisting 1s2 electronic configuration. When we are indicating monopositive, one of the electrons lost by this helium, so that it converted into cation. Hence, its electronic configuration again 1s1 only. 1s1 only, but here two atoms are not there, only one atom is there. Hence, for helium, we can consider only 1s of helium. But in case of hydrogen, 1sa and 1sb, both are contributing. That is the main difference. Here, even though both comes under one electron system only, but helium representation for distance will be different, and hydrogen molecular ion representation is also different. Because in helium positive, it is monocentric. Only one atom is contributing, that is 1s of helium is contributing. But in case of hydrogen molecular cation, 1s of one hydrogen atom, 1s of any other hydrogen atom, both are participating in bonding. That's why for hydrogen you can consider 1sa of one atom plus 1sb of second atom. In case of helium positive, only 1s of helium radius can be regarded. Okay, that is provided in option number 4. That's why for question number 116, option number 4 will be the right statement. Right? Option number 4 will satisfy question number 116. Let us move on to next question 117. For a certain magnetic field strength, a free proton spin transition occurs at 700 megahertz keeping the magnetic field strength constant, nitrogen 14 nucleus will resonate at 5.6 and nitrogen 14 is G of nitrogen 14 is given as 0.4. Okay, so GP stands for what? Proton. So GP stands for what? This denotes a proton. Gn stands for what? Nitrogen isotope. So these two values are provided. Based on this, what we have to predict? For a certain magnetic field strength, a free proton spin transition 700, keeping the magnetic field strength constant, will resonate. At which field strength it will resonate, that we have to predict. Okay, so that means its resonance frequency to be detected. So the formula will be delta V is equal to G beta B by H, right? So G beta B by H is the formula for resonant frequency difference. So here nu stands for resonance frequency. G nitrogen 14, this can be taken as a superscript. So Gn14 value is given as 0.4. Within the problem only nitrogen value is given as 0.4 and G proton is given as 5.6. So 5.6 value is given for proton. Then beta value is also provided within the problem, whether they provided or not. So beta value is a constant, that is 9.27 into 10 to the power minus 24 joule Tesla inverse. Beta value is constant, that is 9.27 into 10 to the power minus 4 joule Tesla inverse. B is denoted as applied magnetic field. How much a magnetic field we are applying, that can be taken as this B value. Okay, so for proton, B value is given as 700 megahertz, right? So here H is equal to Planck's constant. H is given as Planck's constant. So proton, there is resonance frequency 700 is equal to 5.6 G value. So G value, this G value, in this formula we are going to substitute all the values known for us. Okay, so how can we substitute? So we are considering this for proton, this equation now considered for proton here. So for proton, this resonance frequency value is given as 700. G value, just now we saw that 5.6. G value is 5.6 and beta value is fixed, that is 9.27 into 10 to the power minus 24. That is provided with that is provided as a constant. So B, we don't know this to be predicted. What is that? Applied magnetic field to be predicted by H. H is the Planck's constant. Anyway, it is constant value only, right? So we need to predict a B value, right? B is nothing but applied magnetic field is equal to 700 by 5.6 into 9.27 into 10 to the power minus 24, right? So here H can be taken. Okay, so N14. So this is for what? This is for proton. Now let us go for N14. For N14, delta V is equal to, so this G value for N14 is given as 0.4 into beta value 9.27 into 10 to the power minus 24 into B by H. So here delta V value is unknown for us. That's why let us take delta V is equal to 0.4 into 9.27 into 10 to the power minus 24 into B by H can be taken. Here B value is known to us. What is B value? 700 into H by 5.6 into 9.27 into 10 to the power minus 24 is the B value. Let us substitute this B value instead of this B. Okay, so it will become 0.4, 9.27, 10 to the power minus 24, right? This B can be substituted. 700 by 5.6, 9.27 into 10 to the power minus 24. Here, one more term, that is H, will be there. Here, H is there in numerator, denominator, both get cancelled, right? Then remaining terms will be cancelled. After getting all the calculation, the equation is simplified in this manner. So 9.27 numerator, denominator, these two values get cancelled, right? So 0.4 there, and 700 is there, 5.6 is there. Only these three terms are there, remaining get cancelled. H cancelled. 9.27 into 10 to the power minus 24, 9.27 10 to the power minus 24, both get compensated. Only the leftover terms are 0.4, 700 and 5.6. So these three terms we got. So when we do the calculation, so this frequency value for this nitrogen is predicted as 50 megahertz. 50 megahertz. Option 4 is the right answer. For question number 117, option 4 will be the right answer. Right? Let us go with question number 118. The first electronic absorption band maximum of polar and relatively rigid aromatic molecule appears at 310 nanometers, but its fluorescence maximum in acetonitrile solution appears with a large Stokes shift in 450 nanometers. The most likely reason for Stokes shift is, right? So it is the simple basic problem which is based on the polarity of the solvent. Why the shift in this electronic transition values? Lambda max values are possible if you are changing the polarity of the solvent. What they are asking for? One of the aromatic compound was taken. That aromatic compound dissolved in polar solvent in one condition, whose lambda max value is given as 310. And the same aromatic compound was taken and dissolved in acetonitrile, being it is the non-polar, and there is a lambda max value 450. Okay, 450 is observed. So let us see how it is possible and what could be the reason for that one. Okay, so that I am taking. So they are given a random example, that is aromatic molecule. Random example was given. I am going to explain by using aniline molecule. Aniline molecule was taken. So when this aniline molecule dissolved in acetonitrile, for example, its absorption will be at 280 nanometers. So same aniline when dissolved in water. So I am dissolving aniline in water and its absorption maximum was detected. It will be taken as a 254 nanometers. 254 nanometers will be observed. How can we explain this? What will be the electronic transitions possibility? Electron classified into sigma to sigma star. Second is about n to sigma star. Third is about pi to pi star. Last is about n to pi star. These many transitions are possible when any molecule is kept under UV visible light. Okay, so when we are taking this aromatic molecule, initially this NH2 group is there. This nitrogen is always associated with one of the lone pair of electron. Means non-bonding electrons will be there. These non-bonding electrons are more prone to excite. So they are having more tendency to excite because non-bonding electrons easily delocalized. So n to pi star transition is possible in case of this one. When n to pi star is carried, that requires very less amount of energy. Then what is the relation between energy and wavelength? E is equal to H is equal to H nu is equal to H nu is equal to H C by lambda. So what will be the relation between, where is the lambda? Okay. So E is equal to nu, nothing but Hc by lambda. Energy is inversely proportional to lambda value. That means as the energy rises, this wavelength value will be lowered. Okay, so in case of this free amine functional group, what we are taking, lone pair of electrons are having more is to excite, so that energy gap is very less, energy requirement is very less. So its wavelength value obviously raised because E is inversely proportional to wavelength, right? That's why its wavelength value is high. Okay, so 280 nanometers. What we are doing, we are dissolving in the polar solvent in the second condition. So aniline now dissolved in water, aniline now added to water. Upon addition of water, what happens? This nitrogen will be protonated. So NH2 now turned into NH3 positive. So non-bonding electrons present, amine group totally lost. No non-bonding electrons present now. Then what excitation you can observe? Only pi to pi star and sigma to pi star, these type of transitions are possible, but n to pi star transition is missing in case of polar solvent. So if non-bonding electrons are not there, that excitation is not there, so that energy requirement is more. Pi to pi star transition requires higher energy. If higher energy is there, what is the wavelength value? Obviously it will be lowered. So that in polar solvent, absorption appeared at a lower wavelength value, and non-polar solvent wavelength appeared at high wavelength value. Okay, so this is purely explained based on the polarity of the solvent. Okay, if we are taking acetonitrile being it is the non-polar solvent, which will affect lone pair of electrons present in the nitrogen, they will be easily excited. Energy requirement is less. Subsequently, wavelength value will be more. In case of polar solvent, this lone pair of electrons combined with the polar solvent and they get protonated. Upon protonation, non-bonding electrons are lost, and subsequently pi to pi star transition observed, but not n to pi star. So here energy requirement is raised and subsequent wavelength value is lowered. So that is purely because of polarity, and we can say the dipole moment got changed, right? Dipole moment got changed upon this addition of different solvents. Okay, so in this way, here increasing the dipole moment of the molecule in the excited state. This is the exact reason for this electronic absorption spectra. Okay, so dipole moment. So here the dipole is different, here the dipole is different. So if dipole moment is changed, subsequently their absorption wavelength values also altered. So that is the reason why for question number 118, option number 2 will be the right answer. Increase moment of the molecule in the excited state. If dipole moment is varied, dipole moment denoted by Debye units, and which is called charge by distance. Dipole moment is called charge by distance. Okay, so here charge is increased, and subsequently its wavelength value will be lowered. So because of that reason, dipole will be the driving force for this electronic absorption of given molecule in the UV visible spectroscopy. For question number 118, option number 2 will be the right answer. Let us move on to question number 119. The unnormalized radial wave function of a certain hydrogen atom eigenstate is 6r minus r square, experimental minus r by 3. A possible angular part of the eigenstate is, okay, so unnormalized radial wave function, certain hydrogen atom was taken, eigenstate is given as 6r minus r square, experimental minus r by 3. A possible angular part of eigenstate to be predicted. So here psi value is given as, psi is denoted with r. So here n and l, principal quantum number and the azimuthal quantum number, can be regarded for radial node. For radial node, principal quantum number and the azimuthal quantum numbers are considered, which is given as 6r minus r square and e to the power e into minus r by 3. So this will be given. For angular part, if you are taking angular part only, L and M values to be determined. So radial part, N and L are required. For angular part, L and M values are required, right? So R prime is equal to, capital R prime is equal to R to the power 1. Okay, so if L is equal to 1, it is denoted as a p orbital. Okay, so if L value is taken as 1, that denotes what? L is equal to 0 denotes s orbital, L is equal to 1 denotes p orbital, right? For this p orbital, our minimum power should be assigned to the R. What is the minimum power? Minimum power will be 1 only. Less than 1 value will not be there. So that's why we are denoting R to the power 1 only. Okay. So for angular part of p orbital, cos theta will be used. So in order to define the angular part of the p orbital, the probable requirement will be cos theta, right? Correct answer will be cos theta. For question number 119, option 3 will be the right answer. Let us move on to question number 120. This is the last question of the series. Given a trial wave function, psi t is equal to C1 pi 1 plus C2 pi 2, and the Hamiltonian matrix elements integration pi 1 star H Hamiltonian pi 1 d nu is equal to 0. Integration pi 1 star H pi 2 dv is equal to 2.5. Integration pi 2 star H pi 2 dv is equal to 12.0. The variationally determined ground state energy will be, okay, the variationally determined ground state energy will be calculated. For this purpose, we have the formula. Integration pi 1 star H pi dv is equal to 0, which is provided, right? And Ht is given as C1 pi 1 plus C2 pi 2. This is a trial wave function. Okay, C1 pi 1, Ht, trial wave function is given as C1 pi 1 plus C2 pi 2, which is also provided within the problem. And pi 1 star H pi 1 dv is equal to 0. This is applicable to 1 state. H1 state we can apply. Hamiltonian 1 state we can apply this equation. And pi 2 dg can be applicable to H12 state. For H12 state, it can be applicable is 2.5. Then pi 2 dv state, this is denoted with H22. For this, the energy is given as 12.0. 12.0. So 3 different energy levels are there. And let us apply Higginboth theory. And when Higginboth theory is applied, the empirical formula will be H11 minus ES11, H12 minus ES12, H21 minus ES21, H22 minus ES22. Let us apply all the values in this equation. What is H11 value? H11 value is given as 0. So let us put H11 as 0 here. ES11, when ES11 is taken, so ES11 is taken, that is denoted with E itself. ES11 is denoted with E itself. Then H12, what is the value of H12? 2.5. H12 value will be 2.5. Then ES12 value is denoted with 0. So 2.5 minus 0, it will become 2.5 only. Then H21, what is H21 value? H21 value also considered as 2.5. 1, 2, 2, 1 both are exactly identical. So H21 can be taken as 2.5 only. So 2.5 ES21. ES21 value also regarded as 0. So 2.5 minus 0, it will become 2.5 itself. Then H22. What is the value of H22? 12.0. So it will be taken as 12.0. And ES22. What is the value of ES22? ES22 taken as E itself. ES22 is taken as E itself. So 12 minus E. So this is the matrix value for given equation is equal to 0. Now 0 minus 2.5, 2.5, 12 minus E is equal to 0. Then this is in the form of A1, A2, B1, B2. If the matrix is there in this manner, we can go for multiplication. How the multiplication is possible? In the cross diagonal manner, we have to multiply. How the diagonal multiplication? A1 can be multiplied with B2 minus B1 can be multiplied with A2. So in this diagonal manner, we are going to multiply A1 multiplied with B2 minus B1 multiplied with A2, right? So let us apply for this equation. 0 minus 1 into 12 minus E. 0 minus 1 into 12 minus E minus 2.5 into 2.5. 2.5 into 2.5 is equal to 0. We are going for diagonal multiplication. So just like this equation, we are going to apply. We applied. Then what happens? So 0 minus E is nothing but minus E itself. 12 minus E can be taken as such. 2.5 into 2.5 value is taken as 6.25, right? Now the equation can be represented as 12E plus E minus 6.25 is equal to 0, right? It can be written as E2 minus 12E minus 6.25 is equal to 0. The equation is in the form of A2 minus B minus C is equal to 0. A2 minus B minus C is equal to 0. So it can be applied. It can be applied in the equation. So this, what we have to predict? Ground state energy to be predicted. For that purpose, we have the equation D is equal to minus B plus or minus root 12 square, right? So this can be taken 12 square minus 4 into 1 into 6.25 into 6.25 by 2. So we applied in the equation minus B minus B plus or minus under root 12 square minus 4 into 1 into 6.25 by 2. So after applying this one, it will be considered as minus 1 by 2. After doing all this calculation, it is taken as minus 1 by 2. Minus 1 by 2 is nothing but minus 0.50. Minus 0.50 value is provided in option number 2. For question number 120, option number 2 will be the right answer, right? So in this sequential manner, we have to calculate, and we got the answer 2 for this question, right? So by this entire series of part C, CSIR NEET Chemical Science JRF June 2017 have been completed. So by this entire 2017 part B, part C session totally completed. In the next video, we will come up with December 2017 question paper. Thank you one and all. Thank you very much for your patience listening.